With Monday's update at the Lunar Spellbook, there has been 4 additional spells that have been added. You'll need Law Runes, Astral, and an Elemental Battle Staff. Battle Staff is only 1.5 mil, and it gives unlimited runes to all elemental, which include water, earth. Let me click on this. Water, earth, fire, and air. And then I'll show you once I capture this crystal implant. So basically, the first spell you get will be Fire Urns, and this requires 82 magic. It also requires 5 water, 5 earth, 10 fire, and 1 astral rune. And then of course your unfired urns. Now this actually has something very good, which I'll show you now. Boop, load the preset. You can drag it to your action bar if you want. And then instead of using the spell, I'm going to run in and let's use the pottery urn. Right here, it says it will take 96 seconds to fill that. I'll do it again just in case it was a little too quick. 96 seconds. Now, with the spell, and then a lot more astrals, because it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's say 27. And then keep in mind that the astrals, 27 of them, costs 12k. So let's use a spell. Now this, I won't kind of pause it, but look closely. It's now 16 seconds doing this, and rewards you crafting and magic experience. It is 80 seconds faster to do this magic spell compared to actually making it, which is a huge improvement in speed. But remember, these aren't tradable, but it's for you. However, since you do save a minute and 20 seconds in inventory, if you're making, let's say, 10,000 of these, even as an Iron Man 2, you will save so much time doing this. And now the next spell will be, let me see, that. For this next spell, you'll want 2 astrals, which I'll just get a lot of. Boom, here we go. Now the next spell is Telekinetic Grind. You can grind down up to 60 of a target item instantly. This requires 85 magic, 2 astral, and 1 law rune. And then just drag it to your action bar. And then this is a great combination for mud runes. Remember how mud runes you have to grind them, and 60 of them take 35 seconds. And you might be wondering why you want to grind them. Well, for one, it's very little profit. It's about 100 coins per, but it's used for making super magic potions, I believe. That or the extreme version of it. I'm not too sure, but that is the option. And remember, you use 2 astrals and 1 law, so you need about 1400 to profit. And now, let's do this. It will automatically destroy 60. Each spell saves you 35 seconds. And just keep doing that forever and ever. And hopefully, once Ace can sell, this might be a good money making method as well. And then that's it for that spell, since I like to keep all my mud runes. Now the next spell, to me, I personally would say is completely useless. Let me see, where's my arc journal? Arc, there we go. See, load this. Next up would be the Sift soil spell, and that requires 91 magic, 10 water, 5 earth, and 1 astral rune. And then you'll need a lot of soil, so fill your archaeology soil box all the way up, and then teleport to the Arc Guild. Keep in mind that you might be hearing my neighbor's dog, so I'll try to, I guess, reduce his volume a little bit. So as I was saying, let's see, now let's get some Astral Runes. This to me is pretty much a useless spell, but let's say your soil is filled all the way, you can Sift it and click on the window that opens up, and then you can start doing this. You will use 1 Astral Rune per, which to me is very bad. And you might be wondering why this is kind of terrible, but it's kind of good. For 5 archaeology to 74 archaeology, we do not have access to the soil box. I mean, the auto sifter. And keep in mind that this is not actually like a 1-to-1 ratio. It kind of depends on your archaeology level. So it could actually be 50-50 depending on your skill. As for this spell itself, I would say it's kind of worthless, since, I mean, the mesh at the Art Guild is kind of better in a sense, since, I mean, you don't need a lot of astrals, which each spell already costed like 500 coins alone. So for that aspect part of it, I would say it's not worth it, since the Arc materials are like dirt cheap anyway. And that concludes all 4 of the new Lunar Spellbook spells. Thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. The very last lunar spell that I kind of forgot to mention because it's fairly useless, but it does have some good places, and that would be the Trap Telekinesis spell. It requires 97 magic, 5 air, 2 astral, and 1 larva, and then whatever type of traps that you do have. It does work on box traps, electric traps, turtle traps, and then the Jadinko traps. So make your way to whichever one of the places you're going to, and then just kind of hop islands or hop worlds if you're unable to find a good world with no people on it for you. Now you might be wondering why I'm actually like going from Arc Island to Island, because technically I would say this is a good, efficient way of doing this. If I can find a close turtle patch right by a skilling location on Arc, so I can get both hunter and like mining, fishing, divination or something. So like a combination of the two. However, you get a massive click delay with using the spell, which I kinda don't like. But let's say you're catching Grinwalls at Anachronia, where their spawn locations are very spread apart, and you don't want to go like 10 tiles away constantly. So that could potentially be a method, but you do use Astral Runes, which can be somewhat expensive. And here we go. And no skilling location nearby. So that's kind of bad, but I'll show you what the spell does anyway. Boop. Boom. Oh, and keep in mind, I do have the Elite Hunter outfit on, which will automatically reset them, because this spell again, takes forever for it to actually proc, and I'll show you that now. So click on the spell and then use it, and then look at the large animation you do like that, and then you're actually able to move. And I'll do it again. You see, as I'm clicking, you get a terrible delay, which to me, this is not worth it for training Hunter whatsoever, but it could be if you don't want to like physically lay it and pick it up, as you can see, it's way faster this way, just picking and gathering. So it's up to you, but the spell will give you magic experience, which I don't think that should be an issue either way nowadays, with how easy it is to get combat experience. And with that, that will be all of the Lunar Spellbook new spells that were updated. And enjoy the rest of your day.